Happy Super Bowl weekend, and it's already over. Well, welcome back to the 101 Things Under the Sun podcast. Anyways, I am your host, BrownieBits, and with me as always, to my right or left, whichever you want to say, Old Man Hoodrich. How are you, my friend?
What if I just say hovering over you? Is that too creepy?
Slightly, but I'm okay with that.
I don't want you to be okay with that, but we'll continue. Hey guys, I'm here. It's the Hungover Monday, which is the day after the Super Bowl. Yep. I couldn't come up with a better name, so that's what we're calling it, Hungover Monday.
I mean, it makes sense.
All of America will probably be hungover. Even the people that don't drink. Oh, probably. Because they have to deal with the people who do drink. Yeah. And then, even then, who will stay up super late watching the game.
Yep.
So on. So I could bring everybody down.
Exactly.
You don't have to have drank the night before to be hungover.
No. It's
a state of mind. Quote unquote.
The Monday after the Super Bowl is always like the most requested off day of the year.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's even more so than like after St. Patrick's Day or after the 4th of July, or, you know, that Monday after those days.
Now that I believe it, but I don't understand. But anyway, guys, what we got for you this episode here, we got everything Super Bowl minus the football, because they're professionals who talk about that.
And we would not be considered professionals.
Oh no, I'm professional, just not professional that. You know, I could talk football with you.
Yeah.
Probably more accurately than some of the professionals. But they've got to earn their money somehow. We can't take all their viewers. Yes. We're doing this for the good of them. We're letting them keep their jobs, right?
Exactly.
That makes sense.
We could take over ESPN at any time, is basically what you're saying.
And we'd probably have better viewership ratings than them.
ESPN, CBS, NBC, and Fox all don't have anything, don't hold a candle to us.
Fox does have Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And then for recreation, if we ever wanted to go caving, we could just jump between Michael Strahan's teeth.
There you go. Exactly. I did see Terry Bradshaw because I haven't watched like actual football. Like, I've seen highlights and that stuff. I've paid attention to the games, but I don't have cable, so I don't actually watch the games. And I actually caught a game that he was, it was talking about before the game started. And I saw him and I was like, oh my God, that guy has aged a lot in the short time that I haven't actually seen him on TV. Or at least...
Really? I feel like all those guys still look exactly the same since I've started watching them.
They look good for their age.
Don't
get me wrong. He looks very good for his age. But I just felt that he looked like he had aged several years in the short time that I hadn't seen him on TV. Oh, it very well could have been the camera.
Fair enough. The camera does add 10 pounds and 10 pounds of wrinkles.
Yeah, I think it was, we were watching it, streaming it. So I don't know if it was, I think it was a Monday night. I don't remember what game it was that I watched him, but I just saw him. I was like, man, he just looks older.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way. It's just, I just was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got an interesting tidbit story for you and all our loyal listeners, if you will.
Well, I'm excited for this.
Just the other day, sometimes I don't go to bed at a good time for work next day. I was up late and I was like, let's peruse the good old Twitter or whatever before I go to bed. And lo and behold, I found a Bud Light commercial, whatever. I was like, that's funny. And I ended up on YouTube. An hour and a half-ish later, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like, God damn, I just wasted an hour and a half of my life watching Bud Light commercials. And that got me thinking. Since the Super Bowl was coming up, um, what goes good with a nice ice cold Bud Light? Also, this is the key that we need to get a Bud Light sponsorship in the show.
Oh yeah.
Um, but what goes with a nice cold Bud Light? Super Bowl snacks, foods, whatever. And I was like, why don't we talk about that on today's show? So
Yeah.
this is going to be one of our segments on
Mm.
everything about the Super Bowl minus the football.
And you know us, all of you viewers know us very well by now, hopefully. Both me and the old man love our food. Absolutely love it. So I'm sure you have a personal favorite Super Bowl snack or food item. I know I definitely do. And I would have to go with my dad. Going back, now it wasn't more recently because I've moved out and I haven't been able to get home because of work and everything. But we would always, get together, have, a family get together, and we would always get chili. And he would always make chili in one of those big crock pots, like huge.
Chili.
But the thing about it was deer season happened not too long ago. So rather than the normal meat, he would always make venison chili. And that always
That's a special place in my heart, is venison chili.
Oh,
I miss it so much.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's so fucking good.
Oh, it's very good.
But you have to get the proper, aged venison. It can't be too fresh. It can't be too old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had terrible venison chili before. Not pleasant. But chili is a great Super Bowl food because for most of the viewing ship, I guess, you're probably in a cold area. If half the country's cold, half the country's warm. At that point, what better snack than chili? It's hearty, keeps you warm. Warm enough that you're ready to run outside in the snow anytime somebody scores.
Yep.
I have done that before.
If it's made correctly, there's just enough heat, and spice to it that, it gets a nice little burn going, but it's not too spicy.
Yeah. Well, that's just chili. That's like the definition.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, there's some that like it real super spicy, and I think you
like
gotta kind of
whatever the 5 alarm.
Yeah.
I'm not eating Latin food. I don't need that spice. That level of spice,
I don't want my bathroom to be the place I spend most of my Monday.
Fair point. Fair point. I think that's a concern that affects us all.
Yes.
But yeah, solid choice for your favorite there. A nice, like I said, nice chili. It's always the way to go.
Mm-hmm. And a well-made venison chili just tops it. Just puts the little cherry on top of the cake.
Mm-hmm. Did you just say cherry on top of the cake?
Yep.
I'm just going to let you have said that and pretend it never happened. But anyhow, I don't know what he likes to eat. Cherries on fucking cake. Ugh. But anyway, my favorite Super Bowl thing, it's got to be a good set of chips and dip.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be any combination you like. But that's like my epitome of Super Bowl. But you also have to pair it with buffalo wings.
Yeah.
Like buffalo wings and chips and dip.
Honey barbecue and buffalo wings are two very popular ones.
Yeah.
Very
but it's ones. Like that right there. Some.
That was another thing.
Some buffalo wings paired with chips and dip.
Mm-hmm.
That is like the epitome of Super Bowl stuff for me.
Yeah,
pizza's a little too generic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that to me, because it's the Super Bowl is all about the finger foods.
Mm-hmm.
You're here. If you don't have a plate, whatever. You're using your hand as a little napkin plate deal, just so you don't mess up your own floor or somebody else's floor.
Yeah, and what do you think of when you think of the Super Bowl? You think of Super Bowl party. So you have a bunch of people just bring in a bunch of just finger foods,
Mm-hmm.
and just everybody's piling a bunch of just junk together
Oh yeah.
that wouldn't classify as a meal by itself, but because it's Super Bowl Sunday, it all rules go out the window.
It's like a potluck of crappy food. Not crappy in the flavor department.
Junk food.
Yes, there we go. I didn't want to say junk because some of it can be like regular normal food.
Yeah, I've heard of people using guacamole as some of a dip option, and depending on how you make guac.
You make it sound like it's exotic. That's kind of normal, man.
I have the parties I've always had, we've never had guac there. We've had like your artichoke dip, and some other dips there, but guac has never really been. I don't know if it's my family that just don't make it, or if they don't like it. But I personally don't like. I'm not a fan of artichoke, or not artichokes, of what it's called.
Avocados?
Avocados, yeah. I had the right but I'm not a huge fan of avocados.
Gotcha. Well, hey, not everybody can be.
No.
But yeah, like that's honestly that's like the epitome, Oh, and then you got to have some trail mix.
Trail mix, mm-hmm.
The trail mix for soup, that's just it. Like I can't even name anymore because I'm just like lost in all the food options right now.
Oh, there's a ton. Like you could go with the pinwheels. Like pepperoni pinwheels or sausage pinwheels, those type of things. Very
a good meat and cheese board, always appropriate. Always appropriate.
And speaking of venison, you got to have some summer sausage thrown on there for the meat.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll have your spicy sausage,
Depending on who bought it, you might have some venison bologna.
I don't know that I've ever had that.
Really? I'll have to get some.
Actually, I need to buy some jerky. Come to think of it, I'm buying jerky this week, guys. This podcast is all about keeping you up to date on world events. We're talking the Super Bowl. We're talking what kind of snacks old man Hoodrich is going to eat this week at work. And whenever that comes in, our people in the office going to be buzzing.
I got some
good jerky. Also, guys, some world-class jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're talking about food, I'll throw out another ad that we're not getting paid for. We really need to fix this.
Right.
There's a store in Dublin, Michigan. I think it's in Dublin, but it's called the Dublin General Store. You just search Dublin General Store online, and you can order. I believe they have in the store they have like 72 varieties of jerky. Online, you can probably order close to 48 different styles of jerky. For anybody that loves jerky, you'll find something you like there, and you will be impressed by it, I will say. I have ordered a multitude of jerkies from them, and I have not been disappointed. So that's your line for some jerky, and they'll deliver it.
I'll go ahead and I'll throw that link down in the description below. So if you're interested in that, hit up the description box because that'll be, popping up there. Jerky is delicious. So my family has cattle and livestock, and so we always do our own meats. We've done summer sausage, we've done like actual sausage, the smoked sausage, smoked bologna, that, this and that and that and this. And having that there, always just kind of there for the Super Bowl is always, something that's just fantastic. So definitely jerky has got to be on that list.
Oh yeah.
and your summer sausage, your bologna, your
Hmm.
trail sausage,
Interesting.
spicy sausage, bunch of
But yeah,
bunch of stuff.
I'm still like, I'm like, I could eat a good meat and cheese board right now. I that's what I've been kind of thinking about since I stopped talking. Oh, yeah,
You
food on
know,
my mind, guys.
one thing I'm really I really do like. I use an app on my phone for a website called allrecipes.com, and they have appetizers. They've got uh, just about any type of food that you could want to cook. Because what it is it's user submitted. So
Oh,
people will
nice,
submit their own
nice.
recipes. And so you'll have like 40 different types of Italian beef. You have 40 different types of this and this and
Now, see,
that.
that's nice because I can't always cook like Emeril Lagasse. I need to cook like the average American.
Yeah. I do have I took a recipe and kind of changed it a little bit from
Well,
this
yeah, that's
website.
just that's just cooking.
Oh yeah, no. And I tweaked it the way I like it. And it's actually I think it's the best Italian beef I've ever had personally.
Oh, you sent me pictures of that. Oh man, I was like, I need some Italian beef in my life right now. Like right when I saw that picture.
Well, maybe when you come back I'll have to make some. Come back and visit. Or maybe
We
I'll
can.
come down and visit you and
Hey,
bring
fair enough.
bring some.
We'll make sampler platters,
There we go.
and during the podcast, we'll just be eating,
Oh my
making
gosh.
everybody else feel jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, face cam, our first face cam episode.
Could be. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh man. Yeah, and then obviously you another really awesome thing that you have to kind of have on your table. You got to have the Doritos. You've got to have, the Lay's potato chips just as a
Oh yeah.
little side thing. And your little vegetable platter with the
Now,
ranch dip.
now, if you do not have a good selection of chips at your Super Bowl party, that party will suck.
Oh yes. Mhm.
Don't be the guy who buys like 3 bags of Tostitos and calls it good.
No.
No, no, no.
No.
You have to just have the right variety, enough, diversity of the chips. You get a little bit of maybe it's a Tostitos. You got a heartier,
Mhm.
crunchier chip. You got a Doritos where it's a nice crisp crunch and flavor in there,
Mhm.
and then maybe you got like a Lay's, or better yet,
The baked Lays I've become very fond
oh
of
yes,
recently.
I
The
was
baked
I was just gonna bring up
Lays are going to
some
be
Ruffles
the baked Ruffles
because
too.
who does not love Ruffles have ridges?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, if
And
you're the
then
person that's planning the party and you have not told your guests to bring chips, be expecting to eat chips every day for the next at least month
yes, sir.
to go through it. I mean, I
Yeah,
at least.
because if you say, "Oh, bring something," literally everybody will bring chips.
Mhm.
Want to
Yep.
know why? Because if they're like me, they'll walk out of their house Sunday or the day of whatever thing you're having, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, I didn't buy anything or
Yeah.
make anything. What can I do real quick? Oh, let's go buy a bag of chips."
Yeah. Cuz everybody likes chips. And if somebody doesn't like your specific chip, there's probably going to be somebody else that brought chips that they like. So that's
Yeah, and
that's
if
the
they don't
best thing.
like what you brought, fuck them. You
Exactly.
brought it
Yeah.
because whatever. Out of the kindness of your heart, you brought the one chip that you like and everybody else hates. So fuck them. You eat your chips, and you still did the service.
There you go. And you get the big family size bag of chips to yourself, which is normal in my household. Moving right along. Pigs in a blanket.
Oh,
Yeah.
pigs in a blanket.
Oh, so
I,
good.
I, I just need to start, firing up my oven right now.
Right?
Firing up everything. I'll be boiling water. I don't know why I'm boiling water. I don't care. I just need to start cooking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry.
You know, you got to have some desserts too. So
Ooh,
you got some.
that's what I'm talking about, though.
My mom always makes for just about every, get together, or if we brought in snacks for our class for our birthday, because that was one thing we did at our school. Everybody that had a birthday brought in snacks for the class. But every time, we have some sort of get together or something, my mom usually always makes brownies. And my God, are those brownies my favorite brownies of all time.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I always look forward to eating those.
I love me some brownies. Don't get me wrong. However, I think the best Super Bowl dessert thingy you could have is fudge.
Fudge is definitely good, especially this time of year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. It's like a recipe for greatness because it tastes good. But the thing nobody ever thinks about, fudge is super easy and super hard to make a mess of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's there's no potential that anybody's like gonna, potentially spill the fudge. It'll just fall on the ground. You can pick it up and throw it out.
Yeah.
If you drop dip on the ground, it's like, oh, this guy's got carpet. We got to pull out the carpet cleaner. The only way fudge gets messy is if you give it to the goddamn 3-year-old who then just wants to like draw on the walls like it's fucking chalk.
Smear it everywhere.
It'll be like, oh, whose kid just shit all over the hallway? Susan, get your kid.
You also always have the person that brings some cupcakes and cookies, just generic cupcakes and cookies that have the icing on it that's like the football and the grass.
Yeah, they bought from the Walmart or something.
They bought from Walmart, yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, those are always good, but the homemade stuff is always better.
Very true.
Obviously.
Very true. Oh, fun story about that. So my mom always used to, sometimes she'd make cookies and stuff, whatever, normal mom stuff.
Yeah.
And it was always the recipe on the back of the chocolate chip bag, okay? Nothing special. One lady had these cookies, and it's like, oh my God, what the fuck is in these things? They're so fucking good. And my mom just kind of looked at her and said, it's just a recipe on the back of the bag.
Yeah.
And Lee said, no, there's no way. My mom's like, yeah, ain't nothing special about these cookies. I just made them. I didn't buy them. And the lady's like, oh, you made these? I don't know. I witnessed that conversation unfold, and I still don't understand how dumb that lady was. That she could not process that my mom just made the recipe on the back of the chocolate chip bag.
Yeah.
It was like the lady never thought that people could make their own cookies. It was like they had to be bought from the store.
Jeez.
That's the only thing I ever got from that conversation.
I don't. But, you know what goes good with all the food that's mentioned?
I don't know.
A good commercial.
Wow. We're not going to leave you in charge of segues at all anymore. Ever. At all. Note to self. Wow, that wasn't a segue. That was just a turn left here.
Turn left now. Off a cliff. Boom. Well, that exploded in my face.
Yeah. Like that old commercial with the GPS unit.
Yeah.
When literally the GPS unit just says turn left now when the guy drives over the cliff.
Yeah.
It was literally an app for a commercial for what was it, Garmin, way back in the day. Wasn't a Super Bowl commercial, but see, that's a segue right there. I saved your segue a little bit.
I was kind of going for that. That's why I said I drove off the cliff. Kind of exploded in my face. But
no. I'm not giving you any of that credit. None of that credit goes to you.
Whatever. I mean, okay, fine then. You can take that credit.
I just don't want you to have it.
Okay, whatever. Fine then. We'll just throw it away. We will throw it away. Not deal with it. Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly. Honestly, I'm so fuck. Bud Light has some of the Bud Light, Budweiser have some of the best Super Bowl commercials
Oh yeah.
ever.
Oh yeah.
Period. You know, Budweiser has some of them, like the very inspiring commercials that I love.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, they had the little puppy, the little golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that inspirational, like look up for your heroes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was beautiful. Where it was friends with the Clydesdale.
yes, yes, that's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Beautiful commercial.
and how can we not talk about, if we're talking about Budweiser, Bud Light? How can we not talk about Dilly Dilly, the craze sweeping the nation?
Oh
Dilly
my
Dilly,
gosh.
just the
Beautiful.
stories, the storyline of this thing is fucking great. Now, when they first launched it, I bet they're just like, oh, we'll make a medieval times type commercial, you know? Because, like, why not? It's something different. And then they brought up the phrase dilly dilly, and it is now a cultural sensation.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It's insanely beautiful for just a phrase.
hmm But this isn't the first time that they've done that. Um, actually, well, okay, maybe Bud Light, but Budweiser back in the day um, had the "What's up?"
Yep, I forgot
where,
about that. Mm-hmm.
where all the dudes are on the phone, and it's just like, "What's up? What's up?" Oh, so great.
That was a great
Or
commercial.
what about
The good old bullfrogs from Bud
oh
Light.
yeah,
Oh,
Bud, why? Oh yeah,
and then the
oh
Bud
yeah.
Light Bud
We're getting
Light.
in the heyday of beer commercials now.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, that's
Or what about the George Lopez commercial where they're all learning English, but the only phrase that he's teaching them is oh, what was it? It's just literally the only word that he teaches them is Budweiser,
yeah.
and then it's just like they anybody that responds to them, they just reply in their native tongue, no speaking in English or whatever. It's like that'll be $6. No speaking to English.
Yeah, that was a good one. The my one of my favorite commercials, and this is going pretty far back too. Not nearly as far back as the bullfrogs, but it was a Pepsi commercial, and it was these bears out in the woods, and these bears raided this cabin, this hunter's cabin, and they just ate all the food in the cabin. And then they're looking around, and they start looking for something to drink because they're licking their lips. It's like, oh man, I'm thirsty now. There is nothing to drink in the cabin. The next thing it cuts to is kind of like a first person walking into a convenience store, grabbing a case of Pepsi, and then walking up to the counter. And it cuts, and then you see third person view of the cashier looking at an ID, looking up at the bear, looking back down at the ID. You haven't seen the bear yet. And then it shows just the ID on the screen, and it lowers the ID, and there's the bear in the same outfit as the hunter and the ID. And
That's
there's
good.
a case of Pepsi sitting on top. Oh, that was always one of my favorites.
That's good. Speaking of the Pepsi, what about that commercial where the Pepsi driver and the Coke driver, I think they're at a diner or something, but they, it's like they have like a stare down kind of deal, and then they
Uh-huh.
walk into a diner, and the Pepsi guy starts opening his Pepsi, the Coke guy opens his Pepsi, and then they just slide him across the table
Mm-hmm.
threateningly, and then they're like, "Okay, we'll do this for peace," you know.
Yeah.
And then the Pepsi guy sips the Coke. I can't remember who like put the ad out, but Pepsi guy takes a sip, Coke guy takes a sip, and I think it was the Pepsi guy. Um, put the Coke down,
Yeah.
and then the Coke guy is struggling to put the Pepsi down because it's so quote unquote good.
Yeah.
And the Pepsi's guy is like, give me my Pepsi.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one always made me laugh. It was Pepsi that put it out.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one where it was a Coke guy that was in a convenience store, and he's got, all the Coke uniform on, and he's just kind of looking around very, suspiciously. Walks up to the counter and purchases a Pepsi. And the cashier is just kind of looking at him like, really? You work for Coke and you're drinking Pepsi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But hey. Oh, what about fucking Reebok shoes? Office linebacker Terry Tate. How good were those commercials?
Those were great.
Janet, refill the stapler. Just dives across the hallway, tackles the lady who doesn't refill the stapler. Oh man, God, I'd love to work in an office with Terry Tate.
Yeah,
it'd be so thrilling, and it'd be like, when am I gonna get my ass laid out by this huge honking man?
Yeah. Oh man.
But one of the probably the all-time best ever Super Bowl commercials, a Coke commercial, before we get too far away from the Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Mean Joe Green.
I was literally about to say this. 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh, such a great commercial.
Hey, kid, catch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here you go, Mean Joe. Have a Coke.
And one of my favorite parodies came from this one. Family Guy did it, and he just kept throwing his uniform and pads and everything at Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And then the jockstrap came in and landed on his head, and Peter just lost it and ran away, leaving everything there. But yeah, that was probably all-time best Super Bowl commercial, or at least one of them.
Oh, wasn't Where's the Beef a Super Bowl commercial?
Where's the Beef was a Super Bowl commercial in the 80s. It was 82?
I don't know.
No.
All I remember is that was a thing, and I was just like, oh, God.
That was the three old ladies. Where's the beef?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wendy's has had some pretty good stuff. Man. There was another really awesome it was a Budweiser commercial. And they had the Clydesdales lined up on either side, and they were, punching the ground, and it looked like they were lining up on either side of the football.
Oh yeah, they were playing football, that's right.
Yeah, and then you had this sheared sheep, I think it was. Or something.
Yeah, he was the ref for some bullshit like.
No, the sheep that was sheared, that had no more wool on him. And he was just running around, running through everything. And then it panned back, and it was these two cowboys with the good old cowboy hats, jeans and everything. And they're just leaning there watching. And one turns to the other and goes, "Streaker." And that was it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, man. Oh, when was it? I think it was like 2009, 2010. Mm-hmm. The Betty White Snickers commercial.
Oh, yes.
You're not you when you're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that started a string of very good commercials right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was just so fucking funny. It's like, man, you're just playing like Betty White out there. And then it pans over to Betty White, and it's just like, that's not what your girlfriend said last night. Man, Betty White kills me, man.
Oh, Betty White's awesome. She's a treasure.
Older than sliced bread.
Older than sliced bread, yep.
Oh, what about the fucking monkeys? The was it E Trade?
I You'll have to
Beauty.
remind me because I don't remember.
Shit, I think it's the monkeys from E Trade. But it's like the monkeys were in like an office building, and then they
Uh-huh.
would just do like maybe it was Monster. I can't remember if it was a stock trader type deal
Mm-hmm.
or if it was like Monster job hires
Yeah.
because it would be like a whole bunch of monkeys and then one guy who's like trying to actually do work, but the monkeys are just being monkeys in like everything. I think it was Monster.
That sounds. I mean that sounds right. I don't. I vaguely remember it, but I'm not. I'm fuzzy on it.
Gotcha.
One thing now, obviously, I was way too young to remember watching this when it first aired, but I remember seeing this commercial. This is an iconic one from McDonald's. And I think it was 93, 92 or 93 when it came out, but it was the showdown between Larry Bird and Michael
Yes.
Jordan for the Big Mac.
Yes. They've like remade that a couple Super Bowls over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's been several times it's been redone by McDonald's and people have parodied it, and all that, but that's an iconic McDonald's commercial there.
Yes, yes, it is. What about last year? In last year's the Mr. Clean ad, where Mr. Clean is just like a sex symbol, almost. You remember that?
Oh
Like, because
yes,
it's a
yeah.
fucking 3D Mr. Clean, and this lady's just like cleaning her house
Mhm.
with the imaginary Mr. Clean. Oh my god!
Oh man. So,
Because
going back,
but then like at the end of that, doesn't Mr. Clean end up turning into her husband or something? Oh, that was
I
a good
I
commercial.
think so. Or either that or her husband walks in.
Yeah, one of the two.
One of those two. That I can't remember it very well. And I actually just typed in best Super Bowl commercials ever. I'm just kind of going through here. Um, Budweiser had one after 9/11, and it was the one where the Clydesdales were all, in their they were all suited up and everything and going, and they were in Central Park, and they have the skyline of, or they were just outside of the city. They have the skyline of New York City, and all of them bow their heads and and bend their knee, towards the city. And that was one of their earlier, you know, respect commercials that Budweiser ever did.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, lots of really awesome ones.
Budweiser does a lot of inspiring stuff, man.
Mm-hmm. I just I just came across the Terry Tate.
Terry Tate off as linebacker. So good, so good. Oh yeah, and that one I think it was a car commercial last year where it's a Pop Warner football game, and it's just like um, somebody's just like, oh yeah, this is that kind of car, and then the guy next to him is just like, oh yeah, and my kid's Cam Newton, and then it's like because
Yeah.
it was in the stands, and then it pans back to the field, and then Cam Newton's just playing a game with Pop Warner players.
Yeah, it was Buick is what it was. It was a Buick
Yeah,
commercial.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, my kid's Cam Newton. And I'm pretty sure it pans back to the crowd and their face is just like what the hell?
Yeah.
Cam's just running people over. I'm a fan of Cam. I got to say I'm a fan of Cam.
Well, yeah. I mean, how can you not be if you're a Panthers fan? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then probably your favorite commercial from last year was the that avocado commercial where
No.
it's like all those people are like, it's a bunch of people in like secret society robes and stuff,
Yeah.
and then they're just like plotting domination, and then it's just like avocados. It was like, what the literally, what the fuck is this commercial? Oh, avocados.
Do you remember? This was a couple years ago. The Doritos crashed the Super Bowl ad campaign.
Maybe all
Where
I remember that my
they asked consumers to submit their own Super Bowl commercials, and the
oh
best
yeah, yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah. That one with the fucking goat.
yeah,
That
the
was
dude's
good.
sitting there in the lawn chair, and he's got his little neck brace on, and he's like, "Goat for sale." The goat's just chowing down on the Doritos.
Hmm. The other Doritos commercial I really like and remember. The guy's got like a crystal ball or something,
Hmm.
you know, and they're in some office building outside of a vending machine that has Doritos in it, and he's just talking to somebody. He's just like, they're like, "Hey man, I got this ball. It'll predict the future and all this kind of stuff."
Yeah.
And then the other guy's just like, "Let me ask it a really good question. Will the whole office get free Doritos the rest of the day?" And then he just looks down at it and says, and then the same guy says yes, and then throws it straight into the vending machine,
Yeah.
and the glass breaks,
Yeah.
and then you just see like three people run and go grab Doritos, and then the one guy that started talking to him about this crystal ball is just like, "What's going on?"
Oh man. I
Oh, and then wasn't also last year that Melissa McCarthy commercial? That was also a car commercial. Shit. Let me see if I could remember. It was
while
like,
you're looking that up, I do last year well no, it wasn't last year. I think it was 2 or 3 Super Bowls ago, but that's when Kickstart was officially launched by Mountain Dew.
yeah.
And they've had some really weird commercials, but one of the weirdest one that came out of the Super Bowl was Puppy Monkey Baby.
Wait, what was that?
The Puppy Monkey Baby.
Yes, that was so weird.
Puppy Monkey Baby. Puppy Monkey Baby.
That was so weird. Oh yeah, Melissa McCarthy was in that Kia commercial last year where she was just like protecting the environment because her Kia did. So
Hmm.
she's like, I should do it. But it's like she went to save the whales, and then she was out saving the whales on some boat, and then a whale jumps and flips her boat, and then she goes flying across the screen and hits an oil tanker or something.
Oh
That,
yeah.
that just has banners save the whales, but the whale just like almost killed her. And then and then she's like in a forest, and it's like save the forest, all that kind of stuff, and then the tree just falls down on her.
And
Like
take her
everything
out.
bad happens to her, but she's trying to like help everything. You know, that was probably my favorite Super Bowl commercial from last year.
There was one, really good one. Let me Super Bowl 2017 commercials.
There weren't a lot of good ones last year.
Not really. It was a kind of a slow list. Yeah, I mean, it was, you know,
But honestly, so there wasn't a lot from last year. But what about the from 2011, the Force Baby, the Volkswagen commercial? No, that wasn't 2011. Um, uh, it was whenever the Last Jedi came out. The Force, like the kid thinks he's dressed up as a Jedi and is waving a lightsaber around or he's dressed up like Darth Vader. And he's waving a lightsaber around in the driveway, and then he, tries to do the Force hands,
hmm
and he does it at the Volkswagen, and then his dad just hits the remote start,
yeah.
and the kid's like, "Oh, I did it!"
Yeah. Oh, I, I remember what it is now. I just found it. Snickers, the Snickers commercial last year. It was the live one. They did it live.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
it was the Wild West scene where everything was just going to shit.
Oh yeah,
Everything was
okay,
breaking
that's
down,
it.
and
I
they
forgot
said
that
it
was. I
halfway
forgot.
through. Halfway through the commercial, they said the score 21-3 Atlanta, and
Oh,
that's how we knew it was a live commercial. Unless there was a
I did.
conspiracy behind it.
I totally forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the NFL. They rig everything.
Exactly.
No conspiracy. That's fact. That's fact. MythBuster stamp approved.
Um,
Confirmed. What?
TurboTax had a fairly funny one. It was Humpty Dumpty.
Oh yeah, the Humpty Dumpty one was good. Humpty Dumpty. Also, didn't Old Spice start the where the guy does all the weird things? He's like,
Oh yeah,
look at me, looking at you, look at me, I'm on a horse.
yeah. The
That kind
and
of
he's
like
he's riding the horse backwards.
yeah, because that
Um,
was it.
that
It was
was
like the first time they moved away from Terry Crews, in that kind of stuff, right?
no, that was before Terry Crews.
Oh, that was before Terry Crews. I thought
Yeah,
he was
and then
there.
Terry Crews came shortly thereafter because it was Old Spice was doing some fun stuff. It wasn't like super weird, and then they started doing those, and then Terry Crews came along. I mean, it wasn't, but later that year, or maybe
Oh, okay.
or maybe it was the next Super Bowl that they had it. But Terry Crews was shortly thereafter.
Okay, because see, I thought it went the other way. I thought Terry Crews left because they got too weird.
No, he's still doing them. Um, he had one come out last year. Was it last year? It was either last year or the year before. That was the drum kit.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. I remember. So yeah, maybe he just does them off and on.
Ah.
Yeah, he probably just does them off and on then. Interesting.
He also did the Old Spice PC. Um oh, and last year he did the motorcycle, the manhunt. If they're looking for me, I just have a decoy and the balloon pops of him and he steps back into frame. He goes, I have a decoy me. And then that
Oh
one
yeah,
turns
that's
into a
right.
motorcycle and he's like, and I have a decoy me to get away on. And then I have a decoy me to keep me company. And it was a little Terry Crews.
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, what about the old FedEx commercial? It was right around the time. Was it? It was like early 2000s or something. And the FedEx guy, um, like you saw his plane crash
Oh,
onto a desert island,
wasn't
and then he
wasn't
had a
that
package.
that was Tom Hanks though, wasn't it?
Yeah, was it Tom Hanks? I don't think he was in the commercial.
It was based off of the
Yeah, no,
Castaway,
it was
right?
based off of that. Yeah, it was based off of that. But like the FedEx guy went down, and then he got off the island years later, and he just delivered the package like fucking 4 or 6 years later.
Yeah. No, I just looked it up. It's not Tom Hanks. That's definitely not Tom Hanks.
I was gonna say, Tom Hanks doesn't seem like a guy that would be in a commercial. You know?
Maybe, but I mean, I don't know. I It was just so similar to Castaway. That's what clicked in my mind.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what it was based on.
Yeah. So, well, do you have an overall favorite commercial, or is
Ooh. It'd be Mean Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green?
Mean Joe Green is by far and away my favorite Super Bowl commercial. I think.
Yeah.
Now I might have favorite ones for the year, but out of all told, I think that's my favorite. Because the first time I saw it, I was a little kid, and I was just like, "That's cool." Also, it meant a lot more because I knew who that was
Mm-hmm.
because my mom was a Steelers. My mom's a Steelers fan,
Yeah.
so like I knew who Mean Joe Green was growing up, even though that he had played way before I was kid. What about you? What's your favorite all-time Super Bowl commercial.
Oh man. Probably the Pepsi one was always one that I got a kick out of. Even to this day, I still get a kick out of it. With the bear. The Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say either that one or the showdown between Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. One of those two.
Gotcha. All right. Well, then, I think we just about summarized some of the best commercials that we've had here. Do we want to move along into dad jokes per se?
I think we're good here. I think we can move on to some dad jokes and kind of round it out here. So, sound good?
Then let's do that. We'll let you start your segment. Take it away.
All right. I just had. Oh. What is made of brass and sounds like Tom Jones?
I don't know.
Trombones.
Oh man. Oh, goodness gracious. That was bad. I think this one's going to be worse, though.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
Did you hear about the restaurant they're opening on the moon?
No.
It's got great food, but no atmosphere.
That's pretty bad. It's kind of like the last week's joke with Mars.
Yeah.
That's good. To tie into some of the commercials that we were talking about, what did Sushi A say to Sushi B?
I don't know.
Wasabi!
I don't know why that's so funny. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Good stuff.
Oh. I've got one more, and I don't even want to say it after that one. That one was just too good. That one was too good. Oh. Man. I'd say I'd use it at work, but two of the guys that listen to this are going to be at work tomorrow, or on Monday when this comes out. Man. Oh.
Well, there you go. Now you have some jokes to chat with back and forth.
Oh, that's just me on a daily basis. I need to start writing the ones I say down at work.
There you go.
Because those are doozies. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're god awful. I'll segue. Telling you about jokes at work. One time, these guys are. There's a city in Florida called DeLand, and these two guys at work were looking for this area in Google Maps, and they're like, one of the guys was like, "This project's just north of DeLand," and the other guy's like, "I don't know, I can't seem to find DeLand," and I was like, Are you looking in the sea?" And they both looked at me, and I was just like, "This is fucking great. This is great." And I was just like, "Guys, you can't even say that's bad, because that's fucking great."
I do like that one. That one's that's a great one.
But my next and last one for this show, did you hear about the guy who invented the knock knock joke?
No.
He won the Nobel Prize.
That was a bad one too.
Oh, this one's pretty good. I'm gonna throw in one more real quick.
Okay, throw in one more.
And then I'm done. I'll let you do whatever you're gonna do. I've just been diagnosed as colorblind. I know. It certainly has come out of the purple.
Yeah. I like that one. I really like that one. So I got one question for you before we move on to a difficult riddle.
No, fuck you. I'm just gonna preemptively say that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. This will kind of tied into it. How has the price of opinions remained 2 cents over the years, even after inflation?
Did you just ask me for the price for an opinion?
How has the price of opinions remained 2 cents over the years, even after inflation?
Because everybody always says, "Oh, can I
You
get
owe
you
me
2
2
cents?"
cents because that's your opinion.
Oh, what?
That's
I'm so lost. My head hurts already. Please tell me this isn't the riddle.
This is not the riddle.
Oh
It's a
God,
bad joke. It's a bad joke because no matter what your answer is, it's an opinion, so you owe me 2 cents. Because in the question it's asking you, how has the price of opinions remained 2 cents?
What if I said no?
I guess you would have beaten the system.
God, I wish I would have done that. God. Oh, fuck, that wasn't even. Oh, fucking A.
Are you ready?
No, not anymore. I thought I was ready. God
Okay, we'll
damn.
just do one since that one hurt your brain so bad.
Fuck it, do two. I don't want to back down.
Okay.
Golly.
Here we go. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost everyone. What am I?
A wooden case. It's taken from a mine,
Yep,
put into a wooden case.
yep. And from which I am never released. So it's put into a wooden case and never released from the wooden case.
Used by everyone. This is going to be something stupid.
Like
I'm going to say air.
Nope.
Oh, well, fuck you too, then. But that would be a right answer.
Yeah, kind of.
It is. You could put air into a fucking box and never release it, but everybody still uses it.
But is air really taken from a mine?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
If you literally put a box in the middle of a room, put a lid on that box, there will be air in that box.
Yeah.
Okay? And then if you move that box, you are taking the air that is currently in that box from that room somewhere else.
But from a mine. M-I-N-E. You know, where you mine for stuff?
Yeah, that doesn't... Fuck, whatever. That's me qualifying my answer. Okay?
Do you want to know the answer?
Do I want to punch you in the face?
So yes.
Yes.
Pencil lead.
But if they put it in a... What the fuck is the box for?
The pencil.
You said they don't remove it from the box.
Yeah, you don't remove the lead from the box. It's still in the pencil.
But a pencil is not a fucking box.
I mean, it's in a wooden case.
Oh, fuck off. That doesn't happen in the mine. We all know that.
Well, I mean,
no.
Since lead poisoning, yes, they don't use lead anymore. They use graphite.
Yeah. God, I'm gonna have to take some anger management classes from this fucking. Just this fucking segment. Just this fucking segment.
You were the one that came up with this segment too.
That's because I have good fucking ideas. I need to get on a phone with Jack Nicholson.
Are you ready for the last one?
Goosefraba. Maybe. Okay.
All right.
I don't want to kill you right now, so go ahead and ask me the question, so then I will again.
2 camels were facing in opposite directions. One was facing due east, and one was facing due west. They were in the desert, so there was no reflection. How can they manage to see each other without walking around or turning around or moving their heads?
Can you say that again?
2 camels were facing in opposite directions. One was facing east, and the other was facing west. They were in the desert, so there was no reflection. How can they manage to see each other without walking around, moving, or turning around?
I feel like the desert is throwing me off. I guess I shouldn't say throwing me off. The word desert just makes me want to say mirage. That's it. But that can't be an answer.
Okay, they were in the salt flats without any reflection after a dry period without any reflection. Basically, they're in an area where there is no reflection, so they can't.
Well, yeah, I was never going to go reflection.
Yeah, that I'm just trying to help you get off the whole stuck on bit.
Yeah. I don't know.
They were always facing each other the entire time.
But you said opposite directions.
Yeah, you can be face to face with me, but we're facing in opposite directions.
Oh, you dirty fucking piece of shit. Now, no, honestly, my thought process for that, you told me that the first time, okay?
Yeah.
And then I was like, he said due east and due west. They could just literally be nose to nose, and that'll be a true thing. But then he said opposite directions. So then that took over my mind and was like, at that point, that was a long pause.
Yeah.
Then I was like, he's got to read the question again. And then you did very clearly say opposite directions.
Yep.
And then all of that thought process went out the window. And I reverted back to Mirage.
Well.
God damn.
You had it right to begin with. We're so proud of you.
No, nobody's proud of me because I didn't say that, which means nothing of that will hold up in court. Which means I didn't answer that right. Fuck.
Well, I definitely do appreciate doing this segment. Whether
This
it's
is such
you
a good fucking segment too.
busted my brain or I'm busting your brain.
God, this is such a good segment though.
It's so much fun. Even though we get angry at each other.
No. I get angry. God, I really fear for your safety if you ever move down here.
Face to face. I think on our face to face one, we're just going to skip the riddles.
Oh, for Brownie Bits' well-being.
For safety.
For safety reasons.
Safety reasons, we're just going to skip that. That's not going to be a thing that is going to happen. I need to build a wall right now so that it's set up. So you sit on one side of the wall and I'm protected on the other side of said wall.
All right. Slow your roll there, Donnie.
All right. Well, I am excited for the Super Bowl. And even though it already happened to those of you listening. And I know you are excited for this weekend.
Oh, yes. Hopefully my Eagles are going to be flying high still. and I won't see one dead on the side of the road tomorrow or this morning on my way to work.
Yeah. Hopefully, I do hope the Eagles win. So.
Nick Foles!
Yep. All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. We had a lot of fun talking about the Super Bowl commercials, Super Bowl foods, and doing some, bad jokes that actually turned out pretty good.
Although these were great.
They were
honestly probably the best part of bad jokes right now.
I think that was the best segment we've had in the 10 episodes.
God, this is 10 already?
This is 10.
Holy
number 10.
shit. We've been doing this for 10 weeks.
10 weeks. Thank you guys for watching. We really do appreciate it. We're having so much fun doing this, and I hope you guys are enjoying all the fun listening. But I think that just about ends it, so we're going to go ahead and...
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
We're going to go ahead and head off. So you guys can contact us on Twitter. Me at BrownieBits450 and my good friend Old Man Hoodrich at MyGoodsAreRich. You can also tweet the podcast at 101 Under the Sun. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button and do hit that subscribe button too, because we come out every Monday to entertain you at noon Eastern Time. Thank you guys for listening, and I'm out of here.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.